Hi, my name is Tanya, and this is Power Pantaloons Podcast, Episode 6. Today we have Del Denny with us. Del, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you for having me. My name is Del Denny. I'm a high performance coach. I've been an author, speaker, entrepreneur for the last 20 years. By the age of 34 years old, I flew over 1,000,000 miles because that's how often I was putting on a personal development seminar somewhere. Author of the High Performance Playbook and proud dad of three kids.
So, for people who don't know what a high performance coach is, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So think of it as like a life coach, but on steroids. And what I do is focus on high performance habits like clarity, energy, courage, productivity, influence. And so there's a lot of things that we can do to help move the needle. There's all kinds of ways to be productive, but if we had to boil down all the habits, it really comes down to that clarity, energy, courage, productivity, influence. That's what we really focus on in high performance work.
Okay, all right. If you're not familiar with the Power Pantaloons. The Power Pantaloons is because I'm a cancer survivor, and while I was going through my cancer journey, I believe that there are three things that really made it available for me to succeed and overcome the cancer itself. Number one is mindset. Every day I would change my underwear and I would put on a pair of Wonder Woman's pantaloons. That's why it's power pantaloons, because Wonder Woman can't die. So every day I made a conscious decision to live. And I think that that is the number one reason I was successful where other people wouldn't necessarily be successful. The second thing that I feel was hugely important is creating the right support system. You don't want people mourning you while you're standing there or giving you an expiration date. You want friends, family, and your medical team in complete alignment with you to fight the disease, overcome the challenge, or whatever it is you're working on. And the third thing is alternative wellness modalities like Reiki, which is energy healing, working with angels, aromatherapy, herbs, chromotherapy, in addition to whatever your oncologist is recommending that you do. I think it's critical that you use both as a holistic activity. But I would love to talk to you specifically about mindset because that's what you focus on.
I love everything that you've talked about. Those three pillars that you spoke about, especially with the Wonder Woman panties. Like, it's little things that we could do to anchor confidence. As we're going through hard times, there's certain little anchors that we can do in our life to really help us with our mindset. For example, before we started this podcast, Tanya and I were chatting about getting on stage and doing different things, and there's a little trick of the trade that I use to really anchor confidence as well. There's a couple tricks that I use, and I'll share one that might help you as well. Is when it comes to the mindset, we can have different anchors. And one of them is smell, like aromatherapy, like you're talking about, is so powerful when it comes to our mindset. It can shift our energies. And so there's one thing that I like to do with the people I work with is, I always say find a scent, find a cologne or a perfume or a lotion that you like. Like, smell it, find it, and don't use it. Put it to the side. And then wait for the next time that you have a moment, like this organic moment, like where you just crushed it at something. Like you won the race, you closed the deal, you had this amazing thing happen. When you have that euphoric experience of that win, then get that lotion or that scent or that perfume and smell it and anchor the moment. Like, be in the moment, enjoy it, enjoy that smell, enjoy the win. And then now you've bottled up some confidence. So the next time that you go to step on stage or you go to, get out of your comfort zone, you need a little extra confidence, get that smell out. It'll bring your energy right up.
Oh, that's amazing. I know that, when we smell rose geranium or lavender, we remember grandma's house. Like, and it
Yeah.
never occurred to me to anchor a specific smell to confidence. That never occurred to me. That's amazing.
It's interesting because our brain, the part of our brain that processes memories is right next to the part that processes smell. So that's why, like, you smell cookies, you think of grandma's house or whatever it might be. So when you can, there's little things that you can do, but that's when it comes to smells. But I love that, just bottling up some confidence and just have it, going forward. Now, it is important though, like when you find that smell, like don't keep on smelling it. Like, wait for that organic experience and then you can anchor that. But really, when you go to anchor that feeling, make sure you take in the surroundings, like be in the moment, be in that wind, you know be present in the moment, feel the air, feel everything that's going on, so you really anchor those feelings to that scent.
That's phenomenal. It really is. I have a funny story about smell and taste specifically while I was in the hospital for one of my chemos. I had just finished the lovely hospital dinner, and I was very excited about the chocolate chip cookies that were sitting on my plate. Then I bit into one and I was like, this is garlic. And my sister laughed at me. She's like, you do not have garlic chocolate chip cookies. And I'm like, well, then you eat this cookie. Yes, it literally they served me garlic chocolate chip cookies. It was god awful, absolutely awful. I
Was it
don't
on
think they did it to
purpose,
me on,
or
but no,
they did it?
no.
They're like, let's see if she's got her taste buds. We're gonna throw some garlic in this.
Well, I'm assuming they also made garlic bread and just saw butter in a pot and just was like, oh yeah, we can use this for the cookies. Like I'm assuming it was that kind of error, like I don't think anybody
Gotcha,
was
gotcha.
malicious in the kitchen. We're going to give everybody garlic cookie. No, like so like so now when I smell garlic, I think of chocolate chip cookies. So that's how that story correlates.
That's funny. Well, yeah, and it just shows you your memory and your scent and your taste, they're all correlated with one another. So
It,
yeah,
it
choose
does.
wisely what you do with it.
Yeah, and programming it yourself, like that is a huge tool people can put into their toolbox. Like that piece alone right there, that was the money shot right there. That one item that you just gave us is absolutely tremendous.
Well, I appreciate it. And there's little things that we can do when it comes to our confidence. And, going back to the example that you said earlier, stepping on stage, a lot of people have that experience at doing public speaking at some point in their life, but more people have that experience of just getting out of their comfort zone. And I know one thing, like that happens when we step out of our comfort zone. There's always that little negative voice that creeps in and says, who are you to be doing that thing? You can't make it through this thing. Like, you should just give up or whatever it might be. And so there's other triggers that we can use, like sense is a trigger, but we can also use positive affirmations as well. And I am statements are so important. So, I am healthy, I am confident, I am powerful. We say it in the present tense. And when we start saying those things, we squeeze out that little negative voice as well. So, like if you're about to step on stage or if you're about to go into chemotherapy or whatever it might be, and you have that little doubt or that little negative voice, well, go to your I am statements. And one of the things I challenge people with is come up with a list of 30 of those, about yourself. I am a wonderful mother. I am a great example. I am a real estate investor, whatever it might be. I am confident. I am proud. I am good looking, whatever it might be, right? And you have those lists of 30 and you start going through those. It just squashes out that little negative voice that is so easy to creep in and allows some positivity. So when you go to do that big thing, you're in a better place mentally so you can perform even better.
I find that the I am statements work really, really well with gratitude. Like if you're going to combine a power combo using present tense I am statements and then following it up with these are the things that I am grateful for. really locks in the the piece together.
100%. Because when you have gratitude, it's hard to feel fear, right? It's hard to feel, anxiety when we have gratitude for what we have and for who we are and the things that we're experiencing. All the little stuff seems to go to the wayside.
Yeah. So this morning my day did not start awfully well. When your body goes through chemotherapy and radiation, things don't always operate optimally. And I have what I call poopsidents, where I don't make it to the toilet in a timely fashion. And it's horrible when it happens at home, but it's really horrible when it happens in public. And I have been working really hard to change my frame of mind on it. Like, I'm grateful that I have this body. I'm grateful that I'm still alive. I'm grateful that, and so when I over the last couple of months, I mean the poop incidents happen. They happen, they're gonna happen. Um and there are ways to plan for them and make it easier on myself, but I'll go 6 months without one and then I'll think I'm fine. And then 3 days later we're there again. But I find that if I just acknowledge that happened, clean myself up, and then go ahead and position myself with the I can't control that it happened. I can only control how I respond to that it happened. And I chose to create the intent that today was still going to be a beautiful day in spite of the fact that this happened. Like, I'm not going to let this one shitty incident define my entire day. And so that's what I did. I reframed how I looked at the day. Obviously, I took a shower and then I had a little something to eat. I had a little hydration and I did a little, and then I was like, okay, today's going to be beautiful. And so that kind of like intentionality when you hit an obstacle, I think is the right way to handle that.
Absolutely. And being able to have the self awareness to step back and reframe the way that you think is really important. Yeah, I just read a quote the other day, and I love quotes. I'm obsessed with quotes. I heard one the other day, and it was the first time I ever heard it. It was I think it was William Shakespeare. He said, "Nothing is good or bad. Only thinking makes it so." And I was like, that is so good. So nothing is good or bad. Only thinking makes it so. So it's like those instances where, you might have had an accident. It was an accident. It's not good. It's not bad. It was just something happened. It was just an event. But it's our thinking on that thing, whether it's good or bad, right? And so it's really important to step back and reframe the way that we think. We can always spin it in a positive light. Everything is just an action. Everything is just an event. It's not negative. It's not positive. It's just an event. And so how we think about it, that's what really matters most.
I mean, it's just part of the human experience. I'm somewhere along your experience, you're gonna have this happen. Most likely. Whether it happened while you were an infant, obviously everybody shit their nappies when they were an infant, but like as you age, things don't work anymore. And our society really needs to come to terms with that and be more compassionate about it. I also like quotes. I think it was yeah, man, Henry Ford. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah, I think that was it.
That is like that's super powerful because you literally determine everything with whether or not you believe you can do it or not. And everybody can write their ticket to wherever they want to go. They just have to start.
It's so true. I mean, everything really is mindset. I think it was Tony Robbins that said, success is 80% mindset, 20% mechanics. And, whether you're, I coach a lot of people. So from doctors to lawyers to real estate investors, in my mind, like that 20% is what they do for a living. And that matters. But the 80%, what we focus on, it's clarity. Are you clear about your purpose? Are you clear about the direction that you're going? It's your health. Like whether you're a doctor or a dentist or a shoemaker or whatever it is, we still have to focus on our health, right? So it's those little things that we got to focus on that matter. So 80% of our mindset, like of our success is mindset, we really have to focus on it. We have to take time out to feed positivity, read good books, listen to great podcasts. Because if not, it's easy for the negative news to creep in, right? I used to always make this joke like, I don't watch CNN because it stands for constantly negative news.
Right.
It's a silly acronym. I stopped using that joke because someone's like, "Oh, you're taking a political, stand up against CNN." It's like, no, I just thought it was a funny CNN joke. But it just you got to get rid of negative news. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, I don't watch any of the news. Yeah, I educate myself on what's going on TikTok, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what's happening from here.
Yeah, I got to say, TikTok is my guilty vice. I tend to like to go down that rabbit hole every now and then as well.
Yeah, like I want to talk a minute about we're gonna go back to the power pantaloons for a second, and um what is it? Was it James Clear, Alter Ego? Is he the one who wrote that one? Where
it's fun. It's funny you say that because I literally was on Amazon today looking up Alter Ego because I heard someone else mention as well, and I never heard it before. So the universe must be
really?
telling me I gotta watch. I've got to read this book.
So it's about creating like superhero versions of what you want to be, and then being that until you are that. Like that's basically like you have really not read it? I would
I
have
well,
assumed
I
you
have.
had.
Well, I haven't read it. However, I have coached on that before, where clients. It's the same thing. I've said, you create an alter ego. So if you feel weak going into a meeting, like who is this person that you're going to take on? Like Kobe Bryant had the Black Mamba. Beyonce had Sasha Fierce. So
Yes.
who are you going to have as your alter ego? So it's funny because I've never read the book, but I've coached on that same principle.
Well, yeah, I think it's absolutely huge, and it's also another a tool that you can put into your toolbox that especially if you're going through a diagnosis that you would rather not be. Like I
Yeah,
honestly think that it was my number one tool. I think it was absolutely the thing that was the difference between life or death for me, was
that's
just the
amazing right there.
mindset.
Was that the the mindset of Wonder Woman? Like, Wonder Woman doesn't die. Wonder Woman is strong. Is that the alter ego that you took on?
Yeah, that's literally the alter ego. I'm gonna ask you a really weird question. Do you know how much a healthy uterus weighs?
I don't. I'll take a guess though. I'm
All
gonna
right.
say uh I'm gonna say 3 pounds.
How about 4 ounces?
Well, I was way off. Okay,
Yeah,
four.
a lot of people are. When they took my uterus out, it was over 10 pounds. So if you
Wow.
want to look at
Okay.
science alone, my odds were not not positive, not good, not at all. And not once did any of my doctors give me an expiration date or tell me any of that nonsense because they just knew we weren't hearing it. So, like,
I love it.
yeah, 16 years.
You're a force to be reckoned with.
Anybody can be if they put their mind to it.
You're absolutely right. And that can be the tough time. Sometimes we can retreat, we can give up, and then there's other times we can fight, right? And so it's important that we do that. So I love that you fought and you put on the Wonder Woman panties and you move forward. I think that's awesome.
Thank you very much, Dell. So I want everybody to know that Dell is an author and he has written High Performance Playbook, and it's available at Amazon, but I'll put the link down below if anybody wants to follow up with him. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. This was so fun to catch up and to talk mindset. Thank you for having me on.
Bye, everybody.